So in about an April time, I've decided to move my shop to a new location. I decided to make this move because some really good friends of mine from my childhood invited to rent the place together with them and to build like a little workshop community, and without much thinking, I of course said yes. Considering some other problems that I was getting in my old shop, like the cost of the rent went up and the price of the electricity like skyrocketed, and the location of the new shop is literally in a very city center, and my mom lives close by, so I can always stop by and get some free food. But I think one of the biggest problems in my old shop was that I was so lonely there, and I generally feel a lot better and my mood is a lot better when I'm among like-minded people. And when they've invited me to rent together with them, I said yes without much thinking. And so this is how it all went. So today is the big day. I'm gonna finally go to the new shop and we're gonna start working on it. There is still a bunch of crap from the previous owners, so we're gonna have to clean everything up, build some new walls, and there's just so much work. I've been trying to pack my stuff, but as you can see, with not much luck. But anyways, I think we're gonna go now to the new shop and I'll show you around. I'm really rushing this because I'm kinda in a hurry. The materials should arrive pretty soon for the new shop, and there is still a bunch of stuff that I need to do before I can unload the materials. And so there we were at the new location, and the very first thing we had to do was a big cleanup. There was just a whole bunch of crap left by the previous owners, and we had to strip everything down from the walls, collect all of the rubbish and load it into the van. We've decided to take down the old partition wall because it was just in a terrible state, and it would be easier to take it down and build it from the ground up rather than trying to fix it. So we filled up the van up to the roof and took it all down to landfill. So this area here will be my space. We're gonna build a new wall somewhere here. It is a little bit less of a space than I've had in my last shop, but the ceilings are a lot taller, so I think maybe in future I'm gonna build something like a loft over there. The ceiling, I think I want to paint it. I want to paint the walls as well, install some new lights. So much work to be done, and I don't know where to begin. I'm wearing the glasses because I just woke up. I feel like my eyes are kind of swollen. Look at this piece here. It's just asking for trouble. The boys are gonna install 2 CNC machines over there. And it's so cool because it opens up so many new possibilities for me as a maker to have a quick access to the CNC machines. And behind that wall there is another space that they own, and they make furniture over there. I really like this space because there is always work in progress, always something happening. So we needed a new wall to separate our spaces. We installed a frame from metal studs, added some pieces of wood where I plan to put my workbench later, so I could better attach it to the wall. We used some inexpensive drywall to cover up the frame and filled it up with some rock wool to get some better sound insulation. I roughly mudded the joints and installed some corners. There was so much dust and dirt on the ceiling, so I've decided to use my vacuum cleaner to scrub and clean it all off, and then I've primed the hell out of this whole space just to make sure there is as less dust as possible before I move on to the painting. did a great job yesterday. So much echo right now, like really a lot of echo. I hope I can do something about this. I think when I'm gonna have some stuff around here, it's going to be less echo, but right now it's it's a bit out of hand. So tomorrow is the electricity day. I'm gonna do the electricity, hang up some light panels, install some sockets. It's gonna be a fun day. I will have to replace the doors for sure. I also need to make some doors here to separate my shop from my friend's shop. So to hang my lights up on the ceiling, I'm gonna use these. These are, what you call them, mounting profiles. I'm using these profiles because after I hang them, it will be really easy to hang some extra lights to them. It will be a little pain in the butt to hang them in a rectangular shape, but once it's on the ceiling, everything else is pretty straightforward. I've used a classic old thread rod to attach the rails to the ceiling. It took me like half a day to hang all of the rails, but once they were on the ceiling, attaching the lights was just a breeze. And voila! It was actually so nice to see this place with proper lighting, and hitting the switch for the first time after you've installed all of the lights is always a little nerve-wracking. So my next big mission was to replace the main entrance door. And before removing my old doors, I've decided to see how long it will actually take me to break into a space like this without any experience. And with my old doors, obviously. And while I'm cracking this door, I would like to remind you that you can become my Patreon supporter by scanning this code. Thank you. Patreon helps me a lot. So after a very successful 10-second break-in, we have removed the old door. I also had to make the doorway slightly smaller because the new door was slightly smaller as well. For that I've used a thick piece of lumber on the both sides of the doorway, and to make it fit perfectly I've had to use a CNC machine to make it a little smaller. Of course, why not, the CNCs. And once that was done, I've put the new door in place. It was funny because I've made this door for my friends, but for a different space, but they've never actually got around of installing it, so they've sold it back to me and I've ended up using them for my shop. Once the new doors were in place and the new security system installed, I could start moving all of my stuff from the old shop. I've had to disassemble so much stuff. A lot of stuff was fixed to the wall, a lot of stuff was connected to the electricity, and I had to strip it all down and load it into the van. Of course I wouldn't be able to do it by myself, and I'm so thankful for my friends. They've helped me so much with this move. Thank you guys. We ended up going 3 times like this. So I guess this is it. I just swept the floors for the last time and it's time to say goodbye to this space. I forgot how it used to look without all of my stuff. You can see that this area here is like all black, I guess because I was welding so much there. After some negotiating with the landlord, we've agreed that I'm going to leave some stuff behind, and he's going to give me a little bit of money for this. Emotions? Honestly, I just really want to get out of here. I actually like my new space so much more, and the vibe there is so much better than here. So I honestly feel kind of happy. This is it. The final switch. And goodbye. It was fun. I'm laughing, but really this is not funny. I really need to get rid of a lot of this stuff. This is Pav's workshop mobile. Imagine if all of this would fall out in the middle of the road while we were driving. Looks like I'm already all packed here. Kind of, but so much stuff left in the van. The the very last piece. Fuck, I'm tired. I'm in. I would like to try to be as minimalist as it could possibly be with this shop. I don't really want to keep extra stuff and the stuff that I probably wouldn't need. I don't know, I just feel like I want to get rid of a lot of stuff. Until I haven't really built anything here yet, I kind of don't know how it is all going to work. I feel like my welding station is going to be over there. I feel like I'm gonna have a bench right there, loft right there. I also have some space there where I could keep some of my stuff. You never actually realize how much stuff you have until you actually have to move it. It took us 3 days just to move all of the stuff here. Really tired right now, but very satisfied at the same time. The lathe with the concrete top is so freaking heavy. The bloody Coca-Cola fridge, I think I should have thrown it away, but it's here. I'm gonna use it for storage. Okay, I'm done for today. So next up, I had to build a new bench. I really liked the design of the bench in my previous shop, so I decided to replicate it. When the bench was in place, I moved on to building a new loft. I've built a loft for every shop I've had, and this one is particularly successful because the ceilings are very high in this space. I'm really in the rush to finish the loft because look at this. A little pro tip from me: if you paint with a gray paint, make sure you wear everything gray, so that way you don't have to worry about getting your clothes dirty. I ended up reusing a lot of the lights from the old shop. These days these lights cost a fortune, but I remember that I bought them for a very reasonable price some time ago. Now I have 3 sockets there to connect my lathe. I have 3 sockets there to connect my chargers that I keep here. I have 2 sockets here and 2 here. I think this is going to be enough, and I'm really happy with this light setup. I have a switch here, so I can turn it on and off. Yes, love it. So, after being bored and losing my motivation for some time, I got my shit together and welded a heavy-duty post to support the loft from drooping. This 90-degree post ended up working really well, and then I moved on to building some stairs. And of course, with the free access to CNC, I couldn't do without customizing the steps a little bit. I wanted to have a closed up, dust-free office on the top of the loft. So I thrown together a quick frame from some lumber and covered it with some clear polycarbonate because it was the cheapest option. Polycarbonate is really easy to work with and it weighs almost nothing. Then I welded together some handrails just for safety. And obviously I've had to have my pull-up bar. We ended up bringing the arcade on top of the loft, so I had to remove all of the railings and install them back in place later. Next up, I've installed an airline across the shop and built some new storage shelves. I decided to hang my automatic poster scroller in the middle of the wall, and I think it looks really great there. I also needed to build some more cabinets to hold my tools under my workbench. So, I'm almost at the finish line, almost, but my final big mission would be to install my wood stove. It's gonna be a dusty job. I need to make a big hole in a concrete ceiling and all this crap will fall on my head and it's going to be super dusty again. But anyways, I plan to install a stove right in this area here, so I need to make a hole right there. I also don't have my small scaffold set up anymore, so this is what I'm working with. Yep, don't tell me anything about this setup. There it is. I actually really like how it looks. It's got this kind of steampunk look, especially with this stainless all burned pipe. Really cool. The stove is kind of the centerpiece of the shop now. I can twist it to the side if I would want to. It will take a little less space, but I'm not really considering a space problem right now. And so at this point, I think I'm gonna consider my new shop to be complete. I mean, I feel like the workshop can never be complete. The workshop is always a work in progress. There is always like something happening. You always adapt your environment to how you work. I have a nice little welding area. I have a airline across the shop. I have the wall sockets. I have a loft with my desk setup and my sewing accessories. And I have a storage corner. I'm really happy with the lighting. I feel like I finally have enough lights. I just find this shop really cozy and warm comparing to my old shop. And I have my friends close by, so there is always a laughter happening here. And also I have an access to a CNC machines. This part of the shop is kind of the storage area for now. I keep all of my work stuff, some materials and stuff like that here. With this space, I can keep the main shop relatively clean. And of course, I have my pull-up bar set up, and upstairs. And up here, I have my lovely arcade, my sewing machine, and my little office set up. Oh man, I can't believe I finally made it. I know the video is like 20 minutes long, but it took me like the whole summer to do it. There was so many little things that I obviously didn't film, but once it's finally out of the way, I am so happy. I kind of felt so much pressure on myself because I needed to put out the video quickly and it was taking a lot more time than I expected. I mean, there is like no actual pressure, but for some reason I felt like I was under some pressure. I want to say a huge thanks to everybody who supports my channel throughout the years. We are a tiny community, but I'm glad you guys are watching. Also, a huge shout out to the Patreon supporters. You make my life a lot easier. If you made it all the way till the end, don't forget to leave that like, it means a lot, helps my channel grow. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Also, you might have noticed that I got married to the most beautiful girl, and we are gonna be out for a honeymoon in September, so expect the new video somewhere in October time. I'm sorry again for the longer wait. But yeah, I'm so excited to finish this project. I'm probably forgetting something. If I do, I'm sorry. And I guess this is it from me for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye. Check out this door design. It's brilliant. You take this, lift this up, and to fix it in place, you just use one of these. Use one of these, and it holds in place. It's brilliant. I think he's gonna kill somebody. Ah! Fuck. It did. God damn it!
Такой